500 fewer than yesterday. About half were confirmed by PCR tests and the rest from RAT tests. Another 57 patients who had COVID have died. Meanwhile, when asked whether or not the hospital authority will buy the new anti-COVID drug Evusheld, developed by AstraZeneca, the chief manager of the authority, Marie Lee, said they will continue to monitor the situation and consult the experts.
In overseas, so far, they would apply it in patients with weak immunity and patients who are not eligible for vaccination. Its application will be determined on the basis of the development of pandemic and clinical evidence, and we also consult experts first before applying it. But let me remind the public, in terms of prevention, vaccination is the most effective means. Preventive medicine cannot replace vaccination.
The weather forecast becoming cloudy overnight. The minimum temperature will be about 23 degrees tomorrow morning, but it'll be hot with sunny periods later on. The top temperature about 30 degrees and wind will be light. The outlook visibility rather low with a few showers on Wednesday. Currently the observatory 25 degrees Celsius, humidity 76%. You're listening to RTHK. The time's exactly 5 minutes past 11. Private doctors can now request free supplies of the 2 antiviral COVID pills the government has purchased via an existing online platform. The spokesman said private practitioners can, from this evening, apply for no more than 10 standard courses of treatments for either Paxlovid or Molnupiravir. To do so, they need to register with the electronic health record sharing system, so the health authorities can keep track of their prescriptions. They can apply for no more than 10 standard courses of treatment for either. Customs officers have seized 47,000 tablets of a suspected oral COVID drug that was illegally imported, along with tens of thousands of other suspected controlled medicines for curing heart disease and cancer. The department said the drugs, worth around $3 million, were found in a parcel at the airport and in a commercial building in Sherm-Shoy. Officers arrested a 55-year-old man who was later released on bail. The government has locked down 2 buildings in Kwai Chung and Tin Soi Wai after finding coronavirus traces in sewage samples. The lockdowns of Hei Lai House at the Wa Lai estate and Shui Fung House at the Tin Soi estate are expected to finish at noon tomorrow. Meanwhile, health officials found 25 preliminary positive COVID cases after locking down a housing block in Anlai Chau. 5 men have been fined $1,000 each for a video stunt in which they played mahjong on an MTR train. They were found guilty of committing nuisance in a public place. Here's Kelly Yu.
An online video showing a group of people playing mahjong on an MTR train heading to Tioting Lang went viral earlier. And now, Taiwan City Court has fined 5 men for their involvement. The court heard that police detectives arrested the 5, aged between 20 and 27, in November last year, about a month after the video surfaced. 4 of the defendants were also found guilty of using concessionary tickets that they were not entitled to, and the 5th was also convicted of carrying bulky baggage exceeding the permitted limit.
Turning overseas, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has said Russia's siege of Mariupol has destroyed the city and is likely to have killed tens of thousands of people. Addressing Parliament in South Korea, Mr. Zelensky said conditions in the area were desperate as Russia concentrated its forces there ready for a new offensive. He urged foreign powers to send new weapons.
Providing the necessary weapons to Ukraine means not only saving the lives of our people, not only giving us the opportunity to free our cities, in particular our long-suffering Mariupol, but also saving other states and other regions from further deployment of Russian aggression.
Austria's Chancellor Karl Nehammer has become the first leader of a European Union country to meet President Putin since Russia attacked Ukraine. Chancellor Nehammer is holding talks with the Russian president at his residence outside Moscow after announcing his planned visit during a trip to Ukraine on Saturday. He spoke of trying to secure Russian guarantees to help move peace talks forward. He called for a ceasefire, humanitarian corridors, and a full investigation of allegations of war crimes. The German media company, which owns the newspaper Die Welt, has hired the Russian dissident journalist who held a placard saying no to war behind the presenter during Russia's main evening television news. Marina Otsianikova left her job as an editor at Channel 1 after the protest last month. She was detained and fined. Pakistan's parliament has chosen Shehbaz Sharif as the new prime minister. Mr. Sharif was voted in a turbulent session in Islamabad. He won with 174 votes after opposition and peace staged a walkout and announced they were resigning en masse. The election of the new prime minister was held after Imran Khan was ousted in a no-confidence vote at the weekend. Mr. Khan says he was the victim of a US-led conspiracy to oust him. BBC Sukunda Kamani has more.
We now have a new Prime Minister here in Pakistan, Shehbaz Sharif, being elected by Parliament after Imran Khan was ousted from office over the weekend. Shehbaz Sharif is a well-known political figure here. He served as Chief Minister of Punjab, the most populous province in Pakistan under the previous government before Imran Khan came into power.
The French President Emmanuel Macron is touring northern France as he kicks off his campaign for re-election in this month's second-round runoff. He has 12 days to convince voters he can defeat the far-right leader Marine Le Pen. As the BBC's Hugh Schofield reports from Paris, Mr. Macron is changing his strategy.
To fight off the far-right challenge, the president is to immerse himself comprehensively in the hunt for votes. This morning, he set the pattern with a walkabout in the northern town of Denain, one of the poorest in France. People voted overwhelmingly yesterday either for Marine Le Pen or for the far left. Marine Le Pen, meanwhile, is struggling to beat farmers east of Paris. Both leaders need to cast their appeal wider in order to attract voters for other candidates in round one. Above all, that means reaching out to people who identify with the political left, whose candidates have all been eliminated.
The court in London has found a 26-year-old follower of the Islamic State militant group guilty of the murder of a British MP, Sir David Amess. During the trial, Ali Harbi Ali claimed his guilty deserved to die for having supported military action in Syria. BBC's Matt Graveling is outside the court.
Sir David Amess was 69 years old. He was married with 5 children, and he was the target of Ali Harbi Ali, who already scouted out a few other MPs, really to send a message that he was against the bombing of ISIS in Syria. A court heard today how Ali went into the constituency. He sat down with Sir David Amess to talk a little bit about constituency matters before apologising to the MP and then pulling out a knife and stabbing him 21 times. He wanted to be shot by police, the court were told, but when unarmed officers arrived, he dropped his knife and he was arrested.
Students have been demonstrating across Indonesia following suggestions that the President Joko Widodo wants to extend his stay in office. The police fired tear gas and water cannon on protesters in the capital. The BBC's Rebecca Henschke reports.
Rumours have been circulating for weeks that President Joko Widodo is trying to stay in power beyond his legal limit. They were started by one of his closest aides who said the constitution could be changed, arguing the administration needed more time to finish projects delayed by the pandemic, particularly the building of a new capital on the island of Borneo. President Joko Widodo on Sunday insisted he will not run again when his second term ends in 2024. But students who took to the streets are demanding the president do more to end the speculation.
North Korea has been marking the 10th anniversary of Kim Jong-un's official rise to power. The BBC's Michael Bristow reports.
Kim Jong-un died 28 when he became head of the ruling Workers' Party 10 years ago. The new portrait for the anniversary was also an exhibition and also a military parade. The senior North Korean politician described him as a gifted thinker, outstanding statesman and peerless commander. For all the celebrations, North Korea has become poorer since Mr. Kim took over, and his country is just as isolated as it ever was. Mr. Kim's pursuit of advanced weapons means the outside world will never ignore him.
Thousands of mourners have flooded the streets of the occupied West Bank city of Jenin for the funerals of 4 Palestinians killed by Israeli forces yesterday. Tensions remain high in the area. The Israeli forces arrested 20 people overnight. Prime Minister Naftali Bennett says Israel is now on the offensive, following the deaths of 14 people in attacks over the last 3 weeks. At least 135 people are now known to have been killed by gunmen in Nigeria's Plateau state. The gunmen attacked several remote villages on motorbikes yesterday, shooting people, stealing livestock and burning homes. Residents are complaining that the security force had to 24 hours to arrive following the
series of attacks across northern Nigeria, but that particular area has not seen such kind of violence. Residents there told me that this is the worst ever violence they have seen.
And in finance news, shares here and elsewhere in China have posted their biggest drops in nearly a month, hit by COVID-19 curves and worries over an inversion in the 10-year spread between domestic and US bond yields and inflation. The Hang Seng Index fell 663 points or 3% to 21,208. The blue chip CSI 300 index ended just over 3% down, while the Shanghai Composite Index shed 2.6%. And a reminder of our top stories tonight. Chief Executive hopeful John Lee spent the day campaigning to try and get his results-oriented governance platform across to potential backers. Chief Executive Carrie Lam says all students and teachers will have to take rapid COVID tests every day when classes resume after Easter. And health officials report another considerable drop in COVID infections to about 1,400. The news, RTH Guy.